So veggie bed update. You can see the cauliflower is still here. I couldn't pull it out because it's so big and beautiful. It has suffered a lot of pest damage, but a lot of things, and the veggie bed is still, I mean, it's growing, it's doing things. It's not as productive as I would like it to be, so I'm glad I expanded out and did other things. But you can see our green zebra tomato here is doing really well, and there's some cucamelon winding up through there as well. Finally starting to get some little tiny fruits off of there. Purple basil, and the carrot I left go. But see, that was the first tomato to come off. It's still not even blushing, but it's a green zebra. It does, well, maybe a tiny bit. It starts to turn a little bit orange, but it's like an orange and green stripe, so it's pretty neat looking. But I have gotten other ones off of this plant. And I actually took some off and made fried green tomatoes, and it was delightful. So, but it's still kicking. And this one I took some off of yesterday. And it didn't have very many. This is one that I accidentally topped, and it's just starting to grow a little bit. It kind of had stopped growing several months ago, but it's, I think, starting to grow a new lead. And then we have Volunteer Anacisip, which I'll probably dig out of here pretty soon. And some basil, sugar baby watermelon that I just put out here. Seems like it's growing really well, so that's cool. Another hyssop. The chard I left on, which this thing, like, it gets eaten, dies back, and keeps coming back, so I'm gonna let it. There's aroma I put in here because I don't have any place to put it. And it's not been super productive, and I'll show you its friends, and you'll see why this is disappointing. It does, I've already gotten 2 off of it, and it's got 1 more climb in here. More basil. I just topped off the basil, so it's super puny. The shallots, I am not a good onion grower, y'all. And by y'all, I mean me, because I'm the only person that sees these videos. But there's another green zebra. I just took one off of there yesterday that was really sizable. It was more orange than the others, didn't have a whole lot of green. I got some thyme and celery. And I had this asparagus fern staked up, and I needed the stake for something else, so I let it flop over. It's fine, I think. Celery, and the celery kept getting dug up by squirrels. I don't know if they just wanted the dirt or whatever. They could tell it was recently disturbed and thought I'd buried something, which was a possibility. But anyway, same thing here. Just got a car alarm in the background now. Big black cherry tomato that is sprawling and looks super healthy. It does not put on a ton of fruit, and I haven't gotten a single one off of it yet, which is super disappointing. But, and you'll see here, gotten pest damage. It's remained super intact for a long time. Probably because we didn't have any rain, and I guess the BT stayed on it, but we started getting rain finally, which is nice. I'm not complaining. But it has left it open to pest pressure, and maybe I'll get a cauliflower head out of that thing eventually, I don't know. So that little trio of peppers right there, I just planted them all close together. Those are their paprika peppers. And this is a dragon tongue bush bean, I believe. And these guys haven't been super productive either. New Zealand spinach, which I just cut back really hard. It kind of like turned into a vining, sprawling thing. And I used it in stir fry. It was really good, actually. I don't know if I'd call it a spinach flavor, though. This one is, I believe, a purple pepper. I've lost my labels. I was doing so good labeling, and I've lost a bunch of things now. Maybe I'll go back and watch the videos and see what I said about that. Another bean plant. You can see it's got just starting to put on some flowers, just getting going. Like, this is another one of their other compatriots that have done way better, but this bed has had its challenges, so I guess I won't hold it against it. New Zealand spinach, same thing. It was huge and sprawling, and I just cut it back hard, and it seems to be recovering just fine. Some dark opal basil, that I think, I don't know if it's just like too much direct light, too much heat. Seems like it's been struggling this year because I wouldn't say it's the light, because it's like the leaves are kind of bleached out, and then this one like is more in the shade and it seems to be darker. Anyway, there's an onion I let sit too long that split and was dead, but pretend like you don't see that. Some more lemon balm, I believe, that germinated from seeds I planted forever ago. These are poblano peppers that I put in. I did the same thing where I planted them close because I heard that peppers like to hold hands. And they're kind of in the back. I planted them further back than I had initially intended because a lot of my peppers seem to be getting like burned, stressed out by too much sun. So these are more shady. I don't know if I found the right spot, the right mix. But they were planted pretty late. They're not flowering yet, but they look pretty healthy, so that's good. And there's a sad bean plant. I planted some beans, like direct sowed them, and I think just when they came up, they were not strong enough, and so they're not doing well, so I probably just need to cut those down. They're not helping anybody. And then, so that's the overview there. Let me talk about this little area real fast, and then I'll do another video. So ground cherry I put in, it's not been super productive, but it's been doing some things. Back here, this is all corn and lima beans. Lima beans haven't come on yet, they're just starting to flower. The corn, a lot of it got blown over. You can see that's kind of sideways because we had a really bad windstorm not that long ago. But also the squirrels have been digging around here. The first round of corn I planted, the squirrels dug all of it up. I managed to get the second round to stay put. Let's see, we have a lamb's quarter. I actually harvested some of that the other day. Those are all wild. But yeah, they seem to be doing okay. And then the strawberry patch back here, which I transplanted from a planter, which was a June bearing variety. Like they'd spilled out onto the ground, and I transplanted a couple up here. And this is actually the second little group of fruit coming off there. So I'm wondering if these weren't like bird planted, because we do have a neighbor with a strawberry patch across the street. And I thought all of them came from the one mother plant, but maybe not. These are, I'm not sure. There's a couple little flower stalks popping up there. And then the squash, I was hoping it could get going and then get into the sun, and maybe this one will. But I think it's just way too shady back here. And I think that one's pretty much already dead. But, you know, what are you gonna do? The blueberry chugging along. Not as happy as it could be. So, we'll see. I mean, it seems like it finally got established and started growing leaves and getting more healthy. But I think I picked the wrong spot. Way too shady back here, too. I know they can take some shade, but I think it's just too much. And then the hollyhocks, some of them are doing pretty well. And a little violet patch there. Hollyhock. Oh, our giant oregano that got humbled by the rain, I guess. And then we have one hollyhock that's already bloomed. Maybe that one's supposed to bloom until next year. And I'll stop there and talk about the terraces.